We're going to first look at the test methods of checking the moisture of the oil. The first test we're going to look at is the FTR test method. And the main flaw with this test method is that the moisture content must be relatively high in the oil sample before it'll pick it up. And you have to have a reference sample to be able to do your calibration. So if you are needing to sample oil from a vendor, you're not going to have a good reference sample to be able to get a good result. The next test method is the Karl-Fisker titration, and it can detect 3 states of water: dissolved, emulsified, and free water. And this test method is good if you need to check low ppms of water content in the oil, but it won't pick up other contaminants in the oil if you're needing to check for those. The third test method is online sensors, and they're installed in the process piping that the oil is flowing through, and it'll give you the moisture content as that oil is circulating, in case you don't want to open up the system to check the moisture content. All right, the second thing we're going to look at is oil contamination. So oil contamination can result from a loose plug being installed improperly on a gearbox from an operator or a lube tech not, taking their time to do the job correctly, and then rainwater seeping into the gearbox from there, or other environmental contaminants getting into the gearbox. The oil that you receive from the vendor can also be contaminated if they don't use a very good filtration system whenever the oil is loaded. That can cause contaminants to still be in the oil whenever it arrives on site. And thirdly is poor oil storage. So if you don't keep your oil drums covered or in a controlled environment, rainwater can seep into the good oil and contaminate it before you have a chance to put it in the gearbox. So to be able to monitor the moisture content and the contaminants that are in the oil, we want to set up a sampling process for the oil. And that'll start with collecting the sample, making sure it's from the proper gearbox. We'll take that sample to the lab, have them run for viscosity and moisture, and then if the result fails, we're going to send a resample to the lab just to make sure that there wasn't an error at the lab. And if that result is showing the same thing, that it failed, then we'll start troubleshooting where the contamination could come from, which we'll use a standard procedure for that. And then after the contamination has been found, we'll repair that and take another oil sample, and once that passes, then we'll continue on our normal frequency.